onye ọbụla nwere ndị nwayọ na-aga ị na-aga ị na-enyere nwanne gị ọ ga-adị mkpọgoti ya onye akwakwana mmadụ aka onye pịkwana nwaanyị aka n'ala onye
to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go?
Most of us, when we hear SARS, we think of the virus. But right now, SARS means something different and not enough people know about it. Night fam, I want to be honest with you. We have a problem in the way we treat less popular countries. When the popular America faces police brutality, the whole world stands behind them. For George Floyd, we have campaigned on the streets of UK, France and Japan because America is a popular country. But ENDSARS protests that most of us have not heard of because they come from the unpopular Nigeria where Black Lives Matter, but less.
Stephanie, 10 people have died in these ongoing protests. So how does this rebranded police unit, made up of the very same men who committed these brutal acts, how does that constitute reform?
Good morning, Rosemary. It's raining cats and dogs here in Lagos, and that's the same question that protesters are asking, and they are demanding answers to say that they want more accountability, and they are still marching even in the rain. This downpour is not going to dampen the demands or the mood of this activism, they say. They want the Inspector General to resign. They're calling for his resignation. They're saying that his men are clearly not listening to him because that we are seeing acts of police brutality, police opening live ammunition on protesters demonstrating peacefully. And they're also saying, why is this unit set up so quickly without any consultation? And why are the officers from this unit, from the former unit, going to be part of this? For its part, the IGP, the Inspector General, says these men are going to, and women are going to be retrained and given medical examinations and psychological tests to ensure that they're fit to be part of this new unit. But, you know, the protesters are calling for more accountability about the police brutality that we've seen.
And Stephanie, in contrast to the police brutality, protesters have been peaceful. What have you witnessed on the ground there, and what have victims been telling you?
Yes, one of the victims we spoke to was arrested along with another female protester, and she told us that she was beaten very, very severely during the arrest, and she's shown us some very graphic images of the bruises and the wounds that she developed after this arrest. But in contrast to these images of brutality, frankly, what we're seeing on the ground is peaceful protest, a sense of camaraderie. The protesters are even cleaning up their trash. That's what we witnessed out on the streets here in Lagos at the protest sites that we've been to. They've organized medical help, lawyers to bail out arrested protesters. And so really what we're seeing is in contrast to the police response, which has been in most parts brute force. Rosemary.
Stephanie Bazari in Lagos, many thanks for bringing us up to date on this very important story.
This is the concerning story of SARS. Many people in Nigeria know one thing: police are not your friends. In this country of 191 million people, almost everyone has a story of assault by the officer. They had to learn how to live with it until last week. A video showing police officers dragging two men out of a hotel and shooting one of them went viral. SARS was created to stop criminals, but over the years, instead of protecting their people,
the police that are supposed to protect the people have become the oppressor of the same people.
it's bad. And that's why we cannot be blind to Africa anymore. See, part of the reason why some African leaders get away with their crimes is because they know the world will turn a blind eye to it. These bad, corrupt leaders feel above the law because no one cares. It is the very fact that we don't care about all lives equally that Nigeria and many other countries face such big issues. And so I went on the internet and did some research on how much exactly people don't care. The outcry of Nigerian people has a couple 100,000 views on a huge network, BBC, while the recent American protests gathered tens of millions. Only recently, we have campaigned against American police brutality in the streets of London, France, Japan and many more. Now, the least we can do is to campaign on social media for Nigeria.
Well, I wanted to say we want to change the relationship between us and the authority people of this country, authority figures of this country. In enjoyment, say some of us get, because some of us get some small change, we feel say we enjoy for Nigeria. So that is what we are saying. When they watch millions of our brothers, they die every day. That will not be enjoyment. That's selfishness. So let's remove the selfishness. Forget what you get. Think about the millions that die every day in this country and come out.
And Nigerians shall face you. I dare you to shoot this bullet. You cannot come and go back to your station. Go back to your station. You cannot come here and embarrass us and also oppress us here.
The same people we are fighting for.
Was it the same thing Jonathan did to Buhari? If Goodluck had done this, would Buhari have become a president? You cannot do this to us.
Again. To this day, he's suffering from PTSD. We have men and women in our country suffering the trauma that they live with every single day. So us being here is just so small.
I've been a police officer for about 20 years. And I'm just saying that the end of SARS is not the solution. What is the problem we are dealing with in Nigeria is police leadership incompetence. And SARS is just part of a little bit of the whole problem. So what the president should be talking about is how do we increase the salary of the police? Right. How do we fire the Inspector General of Police and get a competent leadership? Right. How do we change the reorganization of the police force? How do we balance it? How do you give more autonomous power to the police in each state instead of someone sitting in Abuja and directing someone in Benin? So that's what we should be fighting for. ENDSARS is the beginning. So the larger picture is the IG have to go. We have to change the incompetence of the leadership. We need to pay police more. We need to see how we recruit them. That's what we should be fighting about. So don't stop. Don't just testing and say, let me show up and show my appreciation and my support to my fellow Nigerians.
Fuck the ENDSARS! Did I see what they are doing? See what they are doing? See what they are doing? What did happen? Fucking end it! What did happen?
This is the concerning story of SARS. Many people in Nigeria know one thing: police are not your friends.
Every country have their own style of catching thieves. I'm going to tell you about 3 countries. Number 1, American police style. They will investigate if he's a thief to then find an evidence to catch him. Number 2, China police style. They will chase the thief until he gets tired, then they will catch him. Number 3, Nigerian police style. They will catch anybody on the street, beat him until he agree he is a thief.